Hi, I'm Erin Wilson from Crime Force, sports anchor and reporter and host of Red and Gold Zone, and you're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Start this drive from the 33 and private parts. Stafford going deep downfield, and he's got Nakua to the 16-yard line. Puka Nakua got free, beat Travarius Ward. Biggest play of the night. Kaler comes into the game in the backfield. Flare him out, and the pass caught and then dropped over the middle. Deebo Samuel would have had the first down and maybe a touchdown.
Very, very frustrating. Like, end of the day, like, catch that ball. It's nothing there but the end zone. At the end of the day, just got to catch that rock.
I mean, you know you've been able to do that in the past.
Just like seeing the moment, came across the middle and see nothing but the end zone at the end of the day. Like, got to look the ball in and go score.
Welcome to Bay Area Sports Wrap, live from Levi Stadium. I'm Marko Ukalovic. Alongside me is Ryan Leong, and it was another tough, difficult, heartbreaking loss for the San Francisco 49ers here on Thursday Night Football, losing to the Los Angeles Rams, another division opponent, 12-6, in a game that did not feature not one single touchdown. It was all field goals. There was a lot of punts. This was a defensive battle, an offensive struggle, to say the least, which is a huge understatement about this game. Brock Purdy looked flustered and frustrated, overthrowing guys throughout the whole entire game. And then we have an incident in the third quarter. And this should have been a type of celebration. The San Francisco 49ers got Dre Greenlaw, linebacker extraordinaire, who had suffered the Achilles injury at the Super Bowl, an injury that takes normally 1 year to come back from. He's back in December, and the fact that they had him and he was making great plays on the defensive side of the ball, and then you have where he gets a knee, hurts his knee just a little bit, where he comes out. They asked Dee Winters, the backup linebacker, to go into the game, and he refused to go into this game. He goes back to the locker room, pretty much quits on his teammates, and this was a crazy situation. Ryan, how can you explain all this?
Well, what I want to know is how quickly are the 49ers going to issue a news release that he's been given his pink slip?
Yeah, definitely. And I think he should. They should give him his pink slip, because you don't quit on a team like that. That is ridiculous. And it's like unprofessional as hell. George Kittle said it was very immature of him to do something like that. And look, when you're fighting for your playoff lives, you either step up and be a man or you don't. And he decided not to be.
No, he decided not to be a man, that's for sure. I mean, it shocked me. I've never seen that before in all the years I've covered sports, and that goes on 26 years now, Marko, and this was ugly. I mean, this was a beautiful atmosphere tonight for Levi's, even though the rain came down. It's clear skies right now, but, you know, big crowd. You know, Prime Videos here, Amazon Prime, and the Niners just laid an egg, man. I mean, they just, you know, for all that happened too in this game, the Niners did a fairly decent job moving the football, but they could never get that big play that that get them that touchdown, right? They had to settle for some field goals, 2 field goals, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pathetic.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done when you're fighting for your playoff lives and you have to win out. Okay, that was number one. They had to win out the rest of these 4 games and then get some help along the way with Seattle, which was quite possible considering when we talked about in our last week's podcast how their schedule looked, where they were playing 3 out of 4 teams that were fighting for their playoff lives or were in a playoff situation. So the fact that they could have gotten that help, they just pretty much blew it tonight. It's dire straits now. I mean, mathematically, they're still alive, but let's be realistic. The 49ers season's done here, Ryan.
Dire straits. Would that be money for nothing and chicks for free?
Yes, it would.
You know I was going to say that, right?
Of course.
What was the other famous song? I'll think about that later. But what a terrible game. I mean, this is such a disappointment. I mean, the Niners just... I keep saying it all year, right? Super Bowl hangover.
Right.
I mean, it's come to fruition. I mean, you got some decent play out of guys every single game, whether it was Isaac Guerendo and his, you know, when he had to back up for Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey, he had a big game. Then it was last Sunday. It was Patrick. What's his last name?
Patrick Taylor.
Patrick Taylor, yes, yeah. Patrick Taylor Jr. Correct. He had a good fill-in when Isaac Guerendo had that foot injury. You got Dre Greenlaw coming back today, and he looked pretty strong at times. But they just can't get it together, man. It's like there was always something missing, and it's enough of a missing piece to not get the job done.
Yes, and it's mind-boggling in that you had the Rams team that gave up 42 points to the Buffalo Bills just 4 days ago. Okay, that defense was not playing great at all, and yet they hold the 49ers to 2 Jake Moody field goals. And I don't really think that the Rams watching this game did anything different. It was just the Niners' poor play, and it's funny because you had Brock Purdy. He wanted to blame himself for this loss. Then you had Isaac Garendo, who spoke in the locker room. He wanted to take credit for this loss, saying that it was all on me. So you appreciate that guys are being selfish like that, and basically wanting to put the blame on themselves and not pointing fingers at anyone else. But it's just frustrating to see this team with even again no McCaffrey, no Jordan Mason, no Brandon Ayuk, but they still got Kittle, they still got Debo, and Debo had a bad drop. I mean, this was a guy who was complaining all week about not getting enough touches, not getting the ball that he wanted as much. He gets a wide open ball to him, and he dropped it, which probably would have been a touchdown and would have given the Niners a lead, and they probably would have hung on to win. But that didn't happen. And Debo was playing coy with us in the locker room, not really answering questions, just kind of giving us the 1-2 answers, and that's it. But, look, they got to go to Miami now, and Miami's offense is playing great. And the way this 49ers team is, they're in disarray. They're in shambles. I'm not sure if they can pull this together for the final 3 games to try to salvage the season. But really, playoffs? To quote the great Jim Mora, they'll be lucky if they can win another game going forward here, Ryan.
You know what's funny about that Jim Mora rant? You know who the Colts played that day, don't you?
The 49ers.
The 49ers beat them really badly that day, and that's where that whole rant came from. Yeah, this is pathetic. I mean, the Niners they had to be ashamed of themselves. Now they're 6-8 on the season. I guess they could finish at best 9-8? Yeah.
They went out.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this. It's not a 16-game schedule anymore. You look at some of the numbers. So Debo this time got targeted 7 times. He caught 3 balls, only for 16 yards, a whopping 16 yards. 2 carries rushing for 3 yards. This just didn't get done today. I mean, this is just a brutal game. I'll look at more of the stats here. Let's see what else.
No, you look at the third down
total net yards.
Yeah.
Third down conversions. Yeah, 4. But LA wasn't too good either.
No.
4 of 15 for the Rams on third down conversion. Niners 3 of 12, and then they were outgained on total offense, 302 yards to 191. And rushing yards, the Niners got killed there.
Yeah.
The Kyron Williams,
Kyron Williams finished with 104 yards rushing, and he was actually getting space free in that second half, and a lot of that had to do with Dre Greenlaw not being there, and after that third quarter play where he hurt his knee, he made it to us in the podium right now. So, look, going forward, again, this defense is as good as they played, and getting Talanoa Hufanga back too. There was a miscommunication in a couple plays where Puka Nacua, he got a big play down the field for, I believe it was a 30-40 yard pass from Stafford that set up that other field goal. So that stuff can't happen to this experience of this defense, Ryan.
You mean the big play was actually 51 yards? 51 yards. You also cut Mr. Williams 4 yards short. He had 108 yards rushing on 29 carries.
I apologize because thank you, Kyron, for my fantasy team. I needed you this time, buddy. Thank you.
And thank you to the other Williams who was a guest on Sirius NFL Radio. By the Rams, I'll tell you, the PR department is top notch. Very professional. Marko was surprised. I had to go over to the Rams to get a phone guest, and then I hightailed it back to the Niners, and I'm tapping him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" So that's how fast I got back to the locker room. Help you get the post-game interviews that you see exclusively on Bay Area Sports Wrap. But I tell you, this was a rough game, man.
It is, and look, they got to put this one behind them. They got to worry about Miami now, and Tua and Tyreek Hill and David Achane, or I don't even pronounce that guy's name. He always pronounces it different every week, it seems like. But
who's that? No,
the running back.
Oh, the running back. Oh.
Yeah, and you just look at the way how many offensive weapons that Miami has, and the way their defense has been playing a lot better too. This is going to be a tough game for the Niners, having to travel 3,000 miles and going from this crazy weather to hot tropical weather, and it's going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah, don't forget they're in Miami, okay? So how many of the Niner players think they're going to be hanging out in South Beach, hitting the clubs?
Yeah, Distraction City. That's Distraction City.
That's right. I know for sure if I was there, I'd be distracted.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I was already distracted earlier, if you noticed.
Yes, that's true. Very true. That's another story for another time. All right, let's wrap this one up. Again, it was a tough loss, 12-6. They're 6-8, and they definitely have to win out now, and really going to need help from the gods and doing some praying, and I don't know what else they can do, Ryan.
No, I hear you. Before we go, got to thank Ryan from the Gym on Base show for letting us borrow his tripod, right?
Yes. Please follow him. Do you have your YouTube channel? Yeah. Follow him, Jim on Base, and because he's.
Hey, guys, pop in the camera.
Yeah,
real quick.
just come in here real quick. In fact, plug your YouTube channel real quick.
Yeah, it's Jim on Base Show on Instagram and YouTube, and the audio's on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
There you have it.
Turn the lights out on us. That's time to go.
So now it's time to go. All right, so we'll talk to you guys next week after the Miami Dolphins game. For Ryan Leong, I'm Marko Ukalovic. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as you are tuned in to Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And I know the quarterback position is highlighted because you're responsible for the football in every situation. I can say that
Hi, this is ABC 7 Sports anchor Sarah Hodges. Please like and subscribe to the Bay Area Sports Wrap YouTube channel.